Well, welcome everyone. It's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read for you in front of you and some other messages, and we're going to get right to it. Okay, so it's February 3rd, 2020 today. 3 is the Empress, and it adds up to a 9 day, which is the Hermit. We have the Empress and the Hermit. So abundance and wisdom, going within and opening your heart fully to others. Okay, so pardon me, I might be a little out of breath still. I was just out jogging, and it's actually a beautiful day out. It's really warm. I was surprised. I was just meditating for you guys to see if there were any messages aside from the read. And what came up, what I first saw, had to do with weight issues and your inner child needing love about that today. And then it wasn't giving me anything specific, so I was waiting and, feeling into it further. And then I saw someone on a field with a whistle, like blowing time out. So, a referee on the field, that type of energy. But it seemed to me like someone I'd known maybe at high school or junior high, something like that, a teacher or something. And then it was taking me back to gymnastics, because I did gymnastics competitively when I was young. And I started at the Abington Y, and my coach was amazing. He was like a second dad to me. And then when we moved gyms to a more private gym, we joined with another coach, and she used to be an Olympic judge, and she was a bit more snotty, and she wasn't a very nice person. She just had that attitude, that she was better than other people, and was very judgmental. So having to do with being judged, right? So the more you fear being judged, the more you're going to pull in that kind of stuff into your life. And since I grew up with weight issues, and then, and of course, other appearance issues, which everybody has something, that just added to it. And then I ended up, doing those kind of things in my field. I managed regulatory studies for research at Penn. And so I was dealing with being audited all the time, that kind of thing. So you're being judged constantly, in addition to having done gymnastics competitively. So give your inner child a big hug about that stuff and tell me what it might have brought up for you. Her name was Mrs. Cooper, my other coach. She ended up actually kicking me off the team for not being on weight when I was doing gymnastics. I think it was 115 pounds when I got kicked out of practice for not being on weight. If I didn't lose the 5 pounds or whatever it was that I was over, I wasn't going to be able to compete. So I don't know why they kicked me out of practice, because if you're not working out, you can't lose weight. But I don't think she liked me, because she liked the gymnasts who were really good at floor routine, very graceful ballet, and I was a power gymnast, so I wasn't her favorite, and I wasn't really flexible, so I wasn't her favorite in that respect either. So I felt very judged by her. So this kind of stuff might help you bring up some stuff from your childhood that made you feel judged, that needs to come up and clear. I couldn't even remember her name, Mrs. Cooper, which now I do, because actually the ref that I saw on the field before I remembered her looked like her, which reminded me of her. Okay, so getting right into the read today, the SIRIAN STARSEED deck, which is the main deck for my reads, was cut and dealt at 9:09 this morning, which is the Hermit and the Hermit. And at 9:19, which is then the Sun, as I was putting out the clarification cards, double sevens came up, which is the 77 is the 9 of Pentacles, or the Sovereign. And then also the Divine Feminine energies were coming up from this read. So, and for me, the 9 of Pentacles is the Divine Feminine in her power, whereas the 9 of Cups is the Masculine in its power. Then some of the cards wouldn't stay still. They kept going crooked, and it was literally messy cards fighting. So there's definitely some fighting going on here. Some kind of war, lying, cheating, stealing, that kind of stuff between. And it was funny because Taurus and Libra energies were coming up specifically about those. I'll show you the cards when I show the whole spread to you. And so it was literally the Hierophant reversed, the Justice card upright, the Five of Swords upright, and the Seven of Swords reversed. So all of them were kind of going crooked, wanting to get involved with the others. So let's see what else here. The major arcana, there was a lot of major arcana in this read, which means that we're getting a lot of guidance, okay, from above. When we don't have any major arcanas in the read, you have a lot of power as a human to choose what you're going to do today. And I like it better when there's a lot of majors, you know, like when they're giving us guidance. And it's rare that we don't have any guidance these days. I mean, it's very rare that there are no major arcana in the reads, which is weird because there's, you know, there's only 22 majors in the deck out of 78. So we have within the main part of the read, we had the Justice card, we had Luna, which is the moon, Abundance, which is like the Empress, Star, Guidance, which is like the Hierophant, Karma, which is Judgment in this deck, and then before the read we had Indigo, after the read we had the Lovers. Indigo is like the Magician. So, you know, we have Libra, we have Cancer, we have Taurus, we have Aquarius, we have Taurus times 2, we have Aquarius times 2, and then we have Gemini outside the read, as well as that can be Gemini, Virgo, even Aries for me, the Magician. So those energies are coming up for, so there's a lot of energies here. But double Aquarius and double Taurus are coming up. So a lot of that energy, as well as Gemini. But anyway, we have 2 Wands, 1 Cup, 2 Swords. The King of Cups, the Page of Swords, the Queen of Wands were in the read. King of Cups, Page of Swords, Queen of Wands. And then before the read, the King of Wands Shaman came up, because he's very much a shaman in the SIRIAN STARSEED deck. And the Page of Cups came up before the read. And after the read, the Queen of Cups came up. The numbers in the code line for this read were all about, well, there were no numerology cards that came up on the code line. And there were no numbers that came up in the code today. So again, there's a lot of divine guidance here. No numerology guidance, no number guidance, just a very simple message, and then getting right into the read. So the message was that the mother sees God's divine justice, right? So even if a mother disagrees with you, the mother will eventually come around to her children and understand maybe why something had to happen eventually. You know, they may not agree at first, and they may never agree with the child's choices, but they may then understand why this intervention happened. And this could be the mother, it could also represent Mother Mary, Mary Magdalene, all of those different energies, but they all see, it's the feminine energy, sees God's divine justice, whereas maybe sometimes the masculine does not. And it was perfect timing, because just as I went through this, my son came out to bring up some of the feelings he was having last night and this morning, and that was the perfect answer for what he was feeling. So the divine feminine and God. So there may be some divide here. The Northeast was coming up, as well as just ice. So some people might be having some ice storms or snowstorms in the Northeast, which may divide things, right? Because it makes it difficult to get around. And it was coming up as mass, so a lot of it. And then also GDI was coming up, and I hadn't thought of that in a long time. So when we were in college, you know, I was a GDI. That was considered a goddamn independent, you know, when you're dealing with fraternities and sororities and stuff like that. So also the mother, or the feminine energy as the divine feminine, is that GDI. And she is the vine that connects everything. Staying independent in order to connect everyone, right? Because if you side, if you're polarized, then you're not independent anymore. You have to side with one party, and you can't side with the other. Also, wine was coming up, and vehicle identification numbers. The feminine and the masculine, and us being us, toggling up when it's cold. So when things get cold, you feel left out in the cold. When your energy drops, toggle up again. That your partner is working together, right? Independent and yet together. So we start on the Wounded Warrior reversed, which is good because that's surrender for me. Okay, here's the Wounded Warrior. We have the Shaman here, the King of Wands, and then we have the Indigo here, the Six of Flames here, which is like the Six of Wands, and then the Seeker of Cups, which was reversed. So the Page of Cups was reversed, which is chalices. The SIRIAN Starseed deck is flames, orbs for swords, chalices for cups, and then crystals for pentacles. So I just used the traditional labels to make it easier for everybody to understand. And then we have the SIRIAN Starseed, the Rider-Waite mini deck for clarifiers. It's a 7-deck read. We have the Numerology deck, the Tarot of Sexual Magic, Romance Angels, as well as the Universal Golden Tarot, the Gilded Tarot, and the Tarot of Sexual Magic, okay? So the Wounded Warrior is in surrender after the King of Wands, Shaman, Magician, Indigo, with good news, success, and leading the way for the rejected and the vulnerable, helping kids get back up again, okay? So after I did this read, which I didn't get initially, I was pulling a few more cards just to get some more confirmation. Sometimes I'll do that just to see if the same cards are coming up, and they did. And I was getting, some people might have had some issues with kids, either getting in trouble with the principal at school or with their mom first thing in the morning this morning, as well as it could be just kids being called out of school sick or they got injured from sports, but all those kind of things were coming up for that Page of Cups. Or in other words, just children being in a vulnerable spot. And it can represent an adult feeling vulnerable as well. So help the Divine Masculine's helping the vulnerable get back up, whether it's children or other people. A new passion, inspiration, and growth out of the 10 of Pentacles, family or business or legacy from home. So perhaps bringing a business into the home. The King of Swords reversed, dropping their burdens and responsibilities or confessing about a negative past or memories, difficult kids, or the past returning again, related to the 10 of Pentacles, family or legacy, or quote-unquote rich kids. So there's another wound from high school. You know, the rich kids that made you feel bad, or perhaps some rich kids didn't feel included in the group because they were different than other people. So that goes both ways. The enemy, the war, or just a jerk without intuition, or 3D passion or secret is out in a bold move to ascend, suffering in silence in order to find peace. And again, a sister could be involved. Defending their truth in fear of secret coming out, of the Chariot or Cancer and suffering in silence, stressed out or purging, or worried about Cancer coming back. And remember, the Chariot's very hard to get rid of. It's a very powerful force. It's easier to be in fear, right? I can do bad all by myself, alone, right? So when you're stressed out, it's easier to be alone so you can process through those energies. Finding peace in that, keeping triggers at bay in order to find peace at 10:06. So the masculine's at that place where he just wants to be alone because it's just easier to process. Okay. So both at 10:07, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Chariot again, both Twinkle Toes and Leprechaun Booties are up in the air, keeping the lion and bull at bay. She sealed and protected by nature's love, and he still on the cross, having a hard time giving up that wound of sacrifice. Both leaning on the right side or the right leg, the King of Cups in deep contemplation about the world and Jesus' role in it. And that was, again, my son came talk to me before he went out to work out this morning, and just as I'm looking at the King of Cups doing this part, he was talking to me exactly the way the King of Cups looked in that card. So I love that my son's around because he gives me all these confirmations for the Divine Masculine. Even the cross is nature's wood and ivy growth around it. Both have an attachment point, a vulnerability, an entry wound, a weak spot where two ends of the same unit come together. Must always work on this area to keep it strong so that it doesn't break over time. But the twins are self-contained. There is no quote-unquote weak spot, only each other to see and seas to navigate without an escape route or hatch. There's no way out. Seeing new perspectives causing too much blood to go to his head, overthinking it and needs to go back to his heart and third eye, or meditation and feel. The Divine Feminine points to its time that X marks the spot of weakness. But if you look closer at the twin, you realize the X isn't an X at all. It's an 8 wrapping around where your etheric cord meets halfway, where magenta meets emerald, where violet meets indigo, where rose pink meets the gold. And then the indigo or blue and gold was coming up here equals emerald green, right? Because blue and gold is green. And then I realized after writing this, because these are just downloads I'm getting, literally the King of Cups card, he's wearing blue and gold and his chair is green, okay? So blue and gold equals emerald green, the heart, a blending of the two, okay? So it doesn't matter what colors we're talking about the cord between the masculine and feminine, and that this X spot is not actually an X, but an 8, an infinity wrapped around the cord that looks like an X on one side, which again is bringing up, make sure you see all perspectives. Just like in seeing something that's 2D on a flat piece of paper or something in 3D, when you get to 4D, you must walk around the whole thing in order to see all perspectives of it because they're different. So when you write the number 2, it's talking about going back into the heart and the blending of the two things, right? The blue and the gold to make the green. And then the number 2 is coming up as, if you write the number 2 and you take half of the 2 and the other half, one half of it is literally a C clef symbol and the other half is an estimate. So the base and the estimate are the base clef. The lower jaw is coming up, right? So it's bringing us to the mouth with touches of compassion showing through. So there's the blue and the green and the blue and the gold equaling green, but in the picture there's also touches of pink coming through, so the compassion needs to show as well. The base clef or the lower jaw, in order to be 2, you must open your mouth, divine masculine. You have the scroll work. Now bring Holy Communion to the Holy Grail. You hold in your hands her heart. Michael and Thoth are retiring from the divine feminine. It's now your turn to take over as man angel. They're about to cut the figure 8, the hourglass figure, and unravel it all. Do you trust that you're seamless as one, right? Because I just told you, when you take that X off that spot or that figure 8 around the rope where it connects, I just told you with twins, there is no disconnect there. And yet your humanness wants to believe that there is a disconnect there because everything is disconnected at some point, right? Do you trust that you're seamless as one? So as they cut this rope, do you fear that you will come apart? Do you fear that your cord can be cut and undone? Shades of buttercup to gold, the divine feminine, Michael and Thoth. Or is that Ra? 1027 is the Wheel of Fortune, and the 27 is the Ace of Wands, new passion, new inspiration, growth. So then Ra comes up, and Ra is he's got the head of the white falcon and gold in his beak. And then the bald eagle was coming up. I'm like, why is Ra the falcon if God is referenced as, God's messenger is referenced as the bald eagle? And so that was kind of interesting. And also, the eagles are bigger birds, right? And actually the eagle is aggressive, and the falcon is not aggressive. The eagle, they're both from the raptor family. They're different families, but they're both considered raptor. The eagle's larger and grabs and crushes the prey and aggressive. The falcon, on the other hand, dives to hit their prey to kill it, so they do a surprise attack, and they also have a notch on their beak to break the neck of their prey, but they're considered non-aggressive. And vultures are actually the largest birds. They're the only ones bigger than the eagle. So a YouTube had come up about an eagle, and it happened to be someone who was just filming an eagle in a tree, and then there was a little gopher or something coming out of the ground at the same time. It was pretty funny that they captured it all, and they weren't expecting this, but 2 falcons actually attacked the eagle in the air when they were filming this. So right after I was reading that the eagle was more aggressive, the eagle was actually getting attacked by 2 falcons. Now the falcons are faster and quicker, it's more like the quarterback, whereas the eagles are bigger and tougher and they're smarter, so they can use the weakness of the falcon against themselves, right? Because they have that weak spot, whereas the eagle does not. And the eagles are very gentle with their little birdies. However, they're also tough love. They'll basically ruffle around the nest to get their kids to get out of the nest, to get up and fly. They'll get aggressive about it, but yet they're very nurturing and tender with their birdies as well. So Ra is the white falcon and gold in his beak, or the bold eagle, which is USA, freedom, honor, respect, and dignity. The messenger of God, like Gabriel. In ancient Aztec tradition, and this is from purespirit.com, the chief, and of course the Chiefs won yesterday, the chief god to people, what did I write here? In the Aztec tradition, the chief would teach people to settle where they find an eagle perched on a cactus eating a snake. Very interesting. And then the state of grace from inner work, the eagle, passing initiation tests, reclaiming your personal power. Eagle medicine is power of great spirit of tenacity, and that was from eaglespiritministry.com. And from crosswalk.com, Moses likened God to an eagle in his final words to the Israelites. He circled around them and cared for him. I don't know if the word is encurled. Encurled and cared for him as the apple of his eye, flutters over young and spreads their wings, which shows the gentleness, a metaphor of God's love, or in other words, being very tender. In dreammeen.com, in Book of Kells, Kells, the eagle is St. John and stands for ascension to heaven, keeping its unwavering gaze upon the truth. And also the eagle, and there's different things that come up with Zeus. Sometimes some it said the gold eagle, and some it said the Caucasian eagle. So Zeus is also associated with the eagle. Atos Dios, the giant golden eagle, one of them said. Libraryacropolis.org. And Zeus is considered Zeus's personal messenger to God. Characterized by its fearless flight, its swiftness and familiarity with thunder and lightning, which I love, because for me, thunder and lightning, they always tell me is Metatron and Michael. Attributes of creator gods: hereditary, nobility, power, and the king of the sky, just like the lion on earth. As an initiatic bird, flies from one world to the other and regenerates and guards souls. Okay. And also linked, the bald eagles linked to the Caucasus mountains. The Caucasian eagle was that was the one that pecked at Prometheus at his liver each day, because he was chained to that mountain for punishment from Zeus for having given fire to man. And then not only is there the polarity here between the falcon and the eagle, because there's a white falcon as well, white falcon with a gold beak, and then the bald eagle, which also has gold in its beak. And then, of course, Heracles and Hercules, there's a debate on whether they're actually the same person, because one comes up from Roman text and the other comes up from the Greek text. But it seems to me they're the same person, Heracles and Hercules. And Hercules is the one that killed the bird that kept pecking at his liver, at Prometheus's liver. Yeah. So anyway, they're showing me like polarities are different things, which it really doesn't matter, because we're not trying to separate things. We're trying to bring them together. So how can the energies of falcon and eagle work together? And how can You know, instead of seeing Heracles or Hercules as different, just see them as the same, one and the same. Another note online, hubpages.com and then libraryacropolis.org, I got that information from. A peregrine falcon would kill a bald eagle through air battle, they were saying, because the falcons are quicker and lighter, but they're the only one who could beat the Saudi eagle. The falcon's quicker, and the eagle can capitalize on the falcon's weaknesses. It's like representing the eagle like the twins, that there is no weakness. There's no disconnect in the eagle, but there is in the falcon. It's more like the someone trying to run around and do a lot of things, chasing their tail, as opposed to just staying still and doing so much more. And there's something like that I'd written right before my journey started, that I need to slow down so I can catch up to myself. So that phrase that I'd used was like perfect to explain this. So I turned the page to 1122 of Justice and the Fool. The Fool is taking a leap of faith with an open heart. I was also getting eagle as the masculine energy more so, and then the feminine energy is more so like the falcon, more gentle. Not expressing feelings or energy back and forth, not telling, or 39 lashes were also coming up here. The Queen of Cups with time on her hands, with the Empress reversed, and it's not her time yet. In a war between the Queen of Cups and the Empress reversed, the Queen of Cups would win because love conquers all. And then I was getting, you are not my mother. So how many times have you said that in your life to somebody? You're not my mother. You can't tell me what to do. You can't school me. Mermaids of the land who have come out of the deep waters to teach land dwellers. And I noticed, it was so weird this came up because there's a new show I noticed on Netflix where they were mermaids 3 years on land and then 3 years in the sea. And they were explaining it to their daughter how she has to go into the sea now because she didn't know she was a mermaid. So mermaids were coming up separate from that in this read, of the land who have come out of the deep waters to teach land dwellers, the superficial, all about stuff. Ra is comfortable with the underworld and able to leap tall buildings in a single bound. And I didn't know, so why is Ra being equated with Superman? Well, Ra equals Superman, not God, right? Because God does not come from man, man comes from God. Whereas Ra was coming up here as a Superman, separate, just like the deities, making something in God's image. Separation and make the effort underneath that came up for the masculine. Let's see here. So there's no options, and I was feeling some stress coming up there. It was 11:39. There's no options or made a choice but hasn't implemented the decision yet. Holding on, saving and grounding, being moderate, falling short of expectations, disconnected from his higher self, or feeling less than, or tearing up. And then the Gold Coast came up at 11:42, which is Justice in the Two of Cups. So someone might be planning to go to the Gold Coast on a trip together. So Queensland and Brisbane were coming up here. The Gold Coast was listed as 41 miles or 66 kilometers southeast of Brisbane. So Gold Coast came up, coming clean, getting clean, healthy. No dating, being moderate, holding back desires for secrets to come up and out, to get clean, to come clean. No rescuing or being rescued, no being stroked or foot rubs, or using others in order to close the gap and not be disconnected from self. Allowing the fires to burn themselves out, ignoring temptation or using others' keys, you have your own. Time for twins to discover them. The King of Cups is being contemplative. The Empress reversed is out of sorts. The twins are ready to connect without blaming the other, and personal growth comes up here at 7. That's number 7, which is the Chariot. And again, that's Ascension. And underneath personal growth was nature. So being green or more healthy and allowing things to occur naturally. And that's number 74, which is the 6 of Pentacles. 6, 7, 8, yep. 6 of Pentacles is 74. So nature, can't say it, is naturally balanced. The Queen of Pentacles reversed is ungrounded or losing money or on timeout or in fear of losing money, right? So anyone who is arrogant or greedy, just another way of looking at that is just someone who's in fear, okay? So there's issues at work or perhaps at the gym, church, school, or whatever. 1152 is Justice and the Queen of Swords. Justice, Libra, feeling powerless to lovers, impatient, and stuck without a choice. Powerless at work with Libra upright and Gemini upright, Sagittarius reversed, and Cancer reversed. So it could be like 2 against 2 at work. Like you can't break the tie. And there's that tie again about tying up the ends, whereas the twins don't need a tie together because they're an unending unit. So the lover or child needs to stop spending, and Justice or Libra with third-party interferences or an issue at the workplace, but maintaining balance and truth. Impatience or no patience, or losing their temper with poor Jupiter placement. Stuck, broke, broken, broke down, broke up, broke through, or issues with Cancer, move or traveling, without options or unable to implement their new path at this moment. Or the dogs escaped and going wild, creating drama, unable to find their way without GPS or guidance system on board. One with steak and lobster dreams, but claw is clamping down, dreams dashed, when got in an accident, taking the wrong path. No more money. No choice but to surrender. The King of Cups, unconditional love, and the Empress reversed, perhaps with illness or lack consciousness, and the twins in need of a tune-up. And then personal growth comes up again, the 7 of the Chariot, ascending. Feminine spending or losing income, ungrounded, and the recent past is abundance reversed or lack. The Empress reversed, their heart closed. Leo and or ego, weak or out of control, or in ego death. Clearly the devil incarnate, or just codependent, or clearly Capricorn, the King of Swords reversed, spreading the word of a man not in his truth as I start to lose my voice. Or a lawyer speaking on behalf of the Capricorn, or the Empress reversed, it's her lawyer or advisor, but is untrustworthy, scammer, person, right? That personality that you just don't trust. Or the Empress is ill or disabled and weak, Leo, and the King of Swords reversed with Capricorn taking advantage of them. Or devil or Capricorn is the pitcher and the air sign at bat, or ready to duel with the devil in conversation. So using their words as swords. Grieving the loss, regret, not sleeping, rising above, coming out in the awakening. Not calling, not hearing the call, indecisive or poor judgment and holding back announcement, or judgment is not in his favor, but manifesting justice, divorce, or with Libra, and I'm losing my voice again as I come back to them every time, the King of Swords reversed, or Libra, and Aquarius reversed. Capricorn and Aries were upright here, and Taurus and Leo reversed at 12-12, which is 2 hanged men. 2 hung out to dry, and that 5 of Pentacles card keeps coming up, so 2 hung out to dry and left out in the cold. So there could be 2 divine masculines together, and I'm just getting 2 mints, 2 mints, 2 mints in 1. The Empress reversed with no option but to give up. The foundation is the Luna card, upright. And that was bringing up the full moon, which is coming up on February 9th. It's 2:33 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So that makes today exactly mid-cycle, which is a really good time for me to do things. Leading the way to heartbreak, separation, rain, or minor surgery, falling short on positive attitude, not following through with separation, or chickens out at night, right? Because they run low on energy and then they feel weak and then the fear comes in, but they feel strong during the day. The central energy is the Ace of Swords reversed, the split, a lie, a need for clarity, confused because there's too many options, synchronicities, or afraid to be called out before coming forward. The Knight of Cups offers love to stand up for self and shine their light and heal at night. Seeing eye to eye, face to face, connecting and sharing at night is a good idea here. The Queen of Wands reversed, instead of a new attitude, I got a bad attitude. It was coming up for the Queen of Wands reversed right here. I got a bad attitude. Doesn't have time, feeling rejected, vulnerable, or the child is, or this could be someone who miscarried as well. So the Queen of Wands reversed is not a happy camper right here. So they could be fighting with a child or with the Divine Masculine, or could have miscarried or just be ill. The worst is over, holding tongue, challenged by justice, divorce, truth, and balance. Sundowning, drained, sick, or tired, overexposed, in need, or the Knight of Pentacles, help. Lovers with justice or divorce, or fair for all, but one is holding their tongue or lashing out. Verbally abusive, but the worst is over, suffering in silence, stressed, purging, lacking faith, falling on face or from grace, or foolish behavior of the Queen of Swords reversed and sovereign, grown child with the Queen of Swords reversed, lawyer, or advisor, or foolish liar. Or one grieving terribly and lacking faith, yet fully independent, or slowly but surely coming out of it, or kids regaining their balance in a divorce situation. So here, Leo was reversed, Libra was upright and reversed, Gemini was upright, Cancer was upright, Aquarius was upright and reversed, Aries was reversed, and Pisces child was reversed, or that childlike energy. So in exile, destitute, out in the cold, or just being cold, injured, ill, deliberating childhood or negative memories, or difficult children perhaps, healing, dreaming, shining their light of stardom or all about stardom, stubborn bulls and chariots, soulmates and synchronicities, reaping rewards in ending an unhappy family or emotional cycle is done, saving and growing or grounding and holding on. But a bit Scroogey right here. Good news though, and leading the way, holding back money or a new life while coming clean or while getting clean at 1242, which is the Hangman and the 42 of two people coming together to see each other eye to eye, face to face. But it's like the Divine Masculine's holding back until he's ready to come clean or has gotten clean if he has any addictions he's trying to clear, or it just could be just going to the gym to get clean, clean up your act. So now, crowning is the King of Cups upright, offering love, and the King of Pentacles hiding his face behind a Cancer or bold move forward. Unsatisfied and destined to be the King of Cups without option, or Cancer, or the King of Cups is Cancer person, and the King of Pentacles could be Libra, offering love, mastering love. So those two, usually for me, my reads are per face value, since I use so many cards. If it's a masculine, it's a masculine. If it's a feminine, it's a feminine, right? Energy, at least, anyway. But here there was two kings, and I was getting it more as the masculine and feminine in their mastery of something, okay? So I'll let you know if it's not, if I'm not getting it as the energy of that face value, the king or the queen or whatever it is, and I'll specify that to you. But otherwise, just assume it's the face value. So here with the King of Cups, I was getting the masculine learning to manifest his emotions, right? And then that's the Cancer energy here. So it could be a Cancer or any other water sign as well. And then the King of Pentacles coming up as an earth sign, but it's also coming up with Libra, coming up as the masculine, learning to master their manifestation abilities, and vice versa, right? Because they both have to master these things. Mastering love and manifesting together, or coming together at work and holding back a call or an announcement while reaping the rewards, or unhappy Aquarius at work is reaping rewards, but they're not satisfied with what they got. The Page of Cups reversed is finding the words. It's like that energy of the card struggling they can't find the words to express themselves or explain what happened, or the emotions they're feeling, right? Because they may be shy or just not used to feeling those kind of emotions. So the Page of Cups reversed is finding the words now before announcing carefully thought out words about difficult memories or childhood or past lives of the Queen of Cups, dreaming about them with Jesus on the cross and chariots of fire, with a female bull attacking the divine feminine, or dreams of the Queen of Cups and hanging out and traveling together now, or in foreign lands or foreign times, working to align with his desires, no sunshine, or without his sunshine, drained, frustrated, or kids are draining, tired or sick, in a split, or dealing with lies or cutting through the BS and needing to get clarity and come together right now over me and hang out with the King of Pentacles, Superman, or is that Robin Hood? Or the King of Wands, affectionate shaman, with an affection for Buttercup Yellow, or an affinity for Buttercup Yellow, out in the cold, injured, or in exile from the King of Cups, Cancer, or illness, or the King of Cups is holding on, being moderate, grounding and saving, but skating on thin ice without much to his name, or holding on to drinking at night, or reaping rewards of parties, or friends up the mountains under the moon with a glass of wine or champagne, or learning to be around other drinkers without needing to have a drink. No more allowing Leo or ego to tackle them or strong-arm him to her way, or Cancer is in and Leo is out. Capricorn, King of Pentacles, Leo, King of Wands, and Cancer, King of Cups, perhaps here, but they don't have to be those signs. Soon is the Star, the King of Wands, winning a battle with the Queen of Wands reversed, who may be pissed or just tired or sick and tired. As the Queen of Wands reversed loses a battle, she could have Aquarius in her chart as well, or she could be ill. Or worse, the worst is over for Libra lovers, and that was at 107 to 108, the Chariot and the Strength. And there ain't no sunshine when she's gone. Fought to heal, or dreams, or someone who dreams for star power, or just to be heard at 109, which is the Magician and the Hermit. There's an opportunity or an invite, a student or a child studying the gold coin, the unity consciousness, and the dark night magician embodiment, or a student of death, transformation, and magic tricks, or DNA test in a death to reveal the truth of it, or who was the father, or finding the link to a disease, or gene therapy, or the Queen of Wands reversed, or a child wanting to follow in the footsteps of the dark knight crossing the 4D bridge to manifest big time, or the big time. The King of Wands, patient angel, or Sagittarius holding back feelings, or energy exchange, as the bird takes off to the stars. So there's definitely someone here who wants to be a star. Libra, Gemini, Aquarius, Leo, Sagittarius, Scorpio, Virgo, and Aries here. The Divine Masculine is seeing himself as the guidance card reverse, which is like the Hierophant. No, not receiving any outer guidance now, ending a family negative cycle, and surrendering, divorcing, or thinking outside the box. The Page of Cups reversed, feeling rejected, vulnerable, or shy, with the Knight of Pentacles offering to help, to offer something small and practical in hopes of something much bigger, perhaps a new life down the road, after looking back and clearing the past, without Taurus reversed or in a divorce. Engagement, and then safe to love comes up, as well as trust. Around him, how he is seen, is karma reversed, or karma ends, deliberating, making them crazy, and so coming out to release themselves from a prison. Patient angel, one step at a time, unsatisfied with their terms of release perhaps, or not quite happy alone. Or Virgo is released, and Sagittarius is unhappy about that, or patiently arrogant in indecision or poor judgment, or making a judgment call, or a call at all. An angel and insanity are two sides of the same coin. Or Virgo Hermit is relieved to find Angel Sagittarius quit drinking, and that's why they couldn't reach out, or taking one step at a time to close the gap. The Masculine needs to clear blocks around the Page of Swords, which has to do with news or messages, spreading the word, seeing the light, starting over in love, hanging out, and traveling to a peaceful place. And that was at 127, which is the Magician, again, and the Ace of Wands. A new passion, new inspiration, new conception, growth. Then at 128, the Magician and the Two of Wands. That's 4444 as I look up. learning to cross the bridge to the other side. And right as I was writing that, I saw lights, you know, like you see, you're seeing stars, but there was nothing negative. I wasn't getting a migraine or anything, but I was seeing light right there. So learning to cross the bridge to the other side, getting through the fear to manifest. So from the numerology cards, nothing came out on the code line, but even more so for the masculine today was manifestation, health, and leadership. There's a reunion here, coming clean in reunion with the Knight of Pentacles offering something healthy with hopes of a new life. The Queen of Wands reversed, Leo or ego reversed, out of control or an ego death, or just tired or sick and tired, ends an emotional cycle for good of unhappiness in a family or alcohol abuse or depression, etc., being Scrooge to have victory, or letting someone else hold the money until she gets clean or comes clean. The Queen of Wands reversed is still at war, defending lies or sneakiness, refusing to come clean, or defending reaping rewards of drinking or spending with friends at night, or hoarding money or hoarding stuff, or literally hiding it. The Queen of Cups in uncomfortable emotions or energies, avoiding the changes or in the aftermath of their world turned upside down, or just being in another world, needing to complete the cycle, or the Queen of Cups and King of Cups are holding on to each other loosely, both out in the cold, lovers uncomfortable in another world, working through epiphanies and allowing changes to happen naturally through personal growth. Lovers standing up for selves, rising above the drama, the phoenix from the ashes, twin towers to twin flames. And then I was getting the buck stops here. Passing downloads, no longer full of hot air, fires dying down a bit to something that they can handle. The Emperor reversed and the High Priestess reversed, performing together. The Emperor letting go of control and the High Priestess letting go of secrets, taking a risk to dance together, switching off between masculine and feminine. The Queen of Pentacles reversed has been set aside for personal growth, perhaps about spending money or needing to ground more often. Purple and green came up here, the third eye and heart, as well as nature and the physical realm, the 3D. The shaman indigo leading the way through vulnerabilities to surrender at night to inner guidance and no more karma, lack consciousness, and split or lies at 147, the Magician and the Seven of Cups, which can be heaven in their eyes and synchronicities. At 148, which is then the Eight of Cups, walking away and within, the challenge being justice, divorce, stardom, or recording sounds of silence and speaking or translating the word of God, of unconditional love without ego. The Queen of Cups lover floating back down to earth to dance with him, but him saying, we're not taking any unnecessary risks. Surrender to the Empress reversed, or Empress is giving up without options at night, or subconsciously lying or doing shadow work, or splitting up, or spit up, so somebody could be dealing with a baby, and then challenged by Justice or Libra at night, pulling Excalibur out of the Queen of Swords reversed, the stoned woman, because remember she turned to stone with that first sword placed in her heart, to become a real live girl again and receive Pinocchio's gold coin as the Knight of Pentacles offers it to the Queen of Cups. So while the Queen of Wands reversed and the Queen of Pentacles are reversed in time out, by offering his truth to the Queen of Cups, he becomes a real live boy, the King of Cups, with his own GPS system and star quality light, clear of karma and spreading the word, healing with truth and light to the Queen of Wands reversed and the Queen of Cups lover, all rising above to deflate their egos a little and some air out of the balloon. The wizard has arrived with the chariot to carry them home to Kansas. I love how Spirit does that. So I hope you appreciate how it ended on Kansas after the Super Bowl last night. All right, so that's the read for you guys. I will pull a few oracle cards. All right, so let's see what we have. What do I want to start with? Where are we? We're at around 49, I guess, is the oracle cards. And 49, of course, is the Nine of Cups, the Get Your Wish card. So this is going to be the Nature's Whispers deck. Nature's Whispers. Okay, so for everybody watching, take a deep breath. For the best and highest good of all those concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Let's clear all negative energy across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the best and highest good of all those concerned, and fill that empty space with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay. So it looks like two cards are stuck together there. So we'll see what they are in a sec. The bottom of the deck is Love Matters, 43, which is the Three of Cups, the reunion card that came up in the read today. And it's very mute, this card. There's not many colors in it. It's very much about the earth colors of browns. But you see how the gold is highlighted there. And literally buttercup yellow through gold came up in the read today talking about the eagles. And then the King of Wands. Or the King of Pentacles. Because literally in the Tarot Sexual Magic, the King of Pentacles has a red cape and the King of Wands has a buttercup yellow cape, and he's actually hugging a feminine with a buttercup yellow cape. All right. And I just love how this card came out anyway, because what were we talking about? The Falcons and the Eagles, right? And this card doesn't come up at all. And there's a shooting star behind it too. And that's perfect because it's just like the video. I told you there was an eagle in the tree today in the video I saw, and there's two falcons attacking him. So it's just like that. All right. The two cards that popped out together, they were very tight together. Celebrate your differences, number 3, which is the Empress again. And remember the day and the added date are 3 and 9, the Hermit and the Empress. So celebrate your differences, and this is the dolphin and the unicorn. All right, and there's that separation line that we're talking about, right? Where there's a disconnect between two things, which the twins don't have that, right? They're a closed circuit. But this is also about closing the gaps of everything else in the world that does have detachment between them. And allowing your defenses to come down. So we have geese in this picture, and fish, and there's a little girl surfing the dolphin, and there's actually a face within the unicorn of a woman. And then we have on the bottom, this is like a castle here, a very small castle compared to everything else. And here's rough seas and calm seas over here, right? And there's the infinity and all the rainbow roads and bridges, right? Follow the yellow brick road. All right, so it's really a dream. It's heaven on earth, right, to bring together all these things. The other card that came up is Clear Out the Old, 5, which is the Hierophant. Right, and you see how much deader the energies look there. Very still, not moving. The owl looks sad. Right, there's a key there, but have you taken the opportunity to see what's in that key? Right? This is stillness, not seeing, no motion, not going anywhere, not doing the dance. There's no energy circulating, right? And then we have Stonehenge up here with 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15 though. It doesn't go 1, 2, 3, it goes 13, 14, 15. With the rays of sun coming out of it. And the sun is right in the middle of the Stonehenge. And here's another shooting star here. So there's all this activity going on in the background. It's like going into Akashic Records, you know. And there's there's a man's face here and a woman's face here, which I didn't even notice the woman's face at first. All right. Clear out the old between you so that you can make new connections. It's like, look at the difference in energy there. Like, clear out the old stagnant, sad, or hurtful energies to make room for the vibrancy here that needs to come in. But celebrate your differences as well. So 5 also has to do with expansion, the need for expansion. It's also the Hierophant energy, freedom and change. And the purple rose there, which has a little bit of the pink, a little bit of compassion needs to shine through. So there's the pink coming through. And you notice like buttercup yellow and rose pink at the bottom. So that's the Mary Magdalene and the compassion energies. very much of Mother Mary too, right? Is there anything else in here I want to note? And you note that this is actually the key, right, to use. You have it right in front of you, but you're not using it. So it's anyway, just clear out the old, make room for the new. So it's emotionally, but also stuff. If you have too much clutter in the house, you might want to get rid of some stuff. Just throw a few things out each day. See what you can throw away or give away or whatever it is. Or just maybe move things around just to change it up a little bit. Just to see how the energy shifts when you do that. All right. Now we're going to go into the energy deck here. Energy deck. Today is February 3rd, 2020. February 3rd, 2020. Take another deep breath. These cards are a little bit choppy. All right, next one. Oh, they came right out. All right, so the bottom of the deck is 45, the man holding a heart. So there he is, still holding a heart. We get this all the time for you guys from this deck. And then from the cards that flew out, we have 33, which is the Christ vibration. It's also the 7 of Wands, standing up for yourself. And there's the keyhole again. The key in the heart, the door to romance, is to put the key in. You got to open the mouth to put the key in. Oh, that's so funny. I wasn't even thinking that. I was sending some love and compassion to my twin as I was right after I finished this read. And right when I was finished doing that, I saw my mandala of that. It's like a magenta racer red color, just brilliant. I'm sure you've seen it in the etheric realms before, but it just opens up like this flower into. It's like 8 petals, but it's actually 24 parts because each petal has 3 parts in it. So the outer part's like it always opens like a flower, but then it keeps opening and opening and opening, and then I see the mandala as there's like 3 sections, and usually like the middle might be a circle or something else, and then the middle part's like the web, like netting or the grid, and then the outer part's more like a flower, right? So the 8 parts, each with 3 petals. And today the center was a heart though, but it was the same with the spider web type grid in the middle section, the heart in the middle, and then the flower on the outside. It was very beautiful. But this was reminding me of that because usually I don't see a heart in the middle of the mandala, which it did today. So there's your heart again. So it's about the man holding a heart. He's holding your heart, and there's the key. And that's so funny that there's a bird cage because when I hurt my back, I did all sorts of little craft projects at home. And one of them I would Swarovski everything. So I have a little cage that I just moved out of my bedroom yesterday to hang it up in the kitchen because it was just sitting there. So here's that cage again with the heart in it. And I was thinking of what to put in it. Like if I got a plant or something, I'd put it in there. But yep, there it is. Door to romance is just walking out your front door and doing something different or new. Maybe bringing a little bit of red or magenta into your life. And the 33 of the Christ vibration. We also have 3, which is blossoming abundance. Okay, so it's very peaceful and floral and natural. There is a bird there. There's a bird here. Let me see if I can see anything else here. I was thinking falcon as soon as I saw it. There's butterflies and flowers. All different, because wild. It's not manicured. But there is scroll work in these. I'm just noticing in the cards up here because scroll work came up in the read today as well, which has come up before as well. And the hearts. Oh, it's reminding me of my 3 of Swords card that I made actually. And it's like a stage. The stage is set. It's like, when you sprinkle the rose petals on the honeymoon suite. That's the energy I'm getting here. It's very peaceful and beautiful and natural. And and not caged. You know, this is referencing the caged heart, you know, not allowing it to open. So then we have the 3 and the 3, and 333 came up. That time actually came up, I think, in this read or just before it. But that's like the 369 as well, the 3D, 4D, 5D. And this is very green and red, you know. It's very much root chakra and heart chakra, which are both your home bases, right? Your stability and your home is your heart. A good foundation, you need both a good foundation of your heart because that's your first home. And then your root has to do with you feeling in a safe and secure place because then you are going to be at your best and in your power. All right. Beautiful. I love that. With the underlying energy and the hearts, it's really pretty. He's got his heart in a cage for you like a little bird waiting for his lovebird, right? The lovebirds that die together. Okay, let's see. Now the animal deck. It was just 10101. Magician, magician, magician. It's a very high vibration. That's just like the 10, 10, 10. Very high vibration. All right, animal deck. What do you want us to know? What is the point of this read today? What are some of the messages we still need to get? What you want to confirm for us? All right. Well, the chariot, if that wasn't clear, because the chariot came up a lot in this read. There are the 2 horses ascending together, and there's a butterfly again to show them the way. The Arabian horse. You can successfully balance various or opposing energies, and we're talking about opposing things like the birds, the eagle and the falcon. You can balance various or opposing energies at once through determination and focus. It's just like keeping your eye on the ball, right? It's kind of in focus but out of focus at the same time. You've earned the rewards and recognition that you're receiving. And we also have 6 of autumn coming up here, the kiwi. And the kiwi, oh, there's the coin. He's bringing the gold. It's not gold, it's a silver coin. So that must be the feminine. She lost a feather, and she has a silver coin because she hasn't gotten her full gold coin back yet because the masculine's supposed to bring it to her. Or maybe it's just the masculine feeling he doesn't have a gold coin yet. He's only got a silver coin. Your success and prosperity have allowed you to pay off debts, acquire wise loans, or receive a grant or scholarship. In return for heaven's blessings, be sure to share the wealth with others through donations of time or money to reputable charities. Okay? So it's just reminding you to give to others. As you receive all your blessings, remember to give to others who are now where you used to be. Okay? All right, the bottom of the deck is the King of Winter, which is very blue indigo-y. Intelligent, impartial, respected, unemotional. The humpback whale, this came up yesterday, I think. At this time, it's very important that you communicate clearly, be objective and unemotional, and act as professionally as possible. If you need advice, seek out the most experienced expert you can find, right? So it's just saying don't make the story convoluted. You know, state your feeling with a sentence of fact. And if you're interested in the Mary Magdalene Heart Path, Mercedes Kirkle channels Mary Magdalene, and I did her South of France retreat with her, and it was really amazing. So she teaches the Heart Path, which is all about focusing on the feeling, not the thought. And then don't tell the whole story, even though you may be tempted to say a whole lot. Just one feeling with one short statement of fact, right? Because men like short sentences or short stories, right? So that's part of what's coming up here with the humpback whale. Okay. But again, if you need to deal with anything in the 3D world, you know, make sure you don't go into too much that people won't understand because they won't be at that same resonance. What else do I have here? All right, now the Metatron deck. Metatron. Oh, that came right out. Okay. Did we just get this one? Yeah. Duality, balance needed, okay? So that's, again, the Falcon and the Eagle. And the other dualities that came up in the read. Balance is needed, so you need to ground. And again, focus without focusing at the same time, just like when you're trying to hit a ball in baseball. Focus without focusing. Balance is needed. Ground, ground, ground. And we have the King of Wands here. So ground, come back to center, meditate, and movement needed as well. So there's someone jogging on the beach. Take some action with the Hermit that helps to ground you and get you balanced again. And then the bottom of the deck is, again, very indigo, blues and purples. And it's called Indigo, Mystery and Mastery of Life. 21 is the world, is completion. And also the North Star. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Up above the world so high, like a diamond in the sky. Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are. Okay, just one last card from the Kipper deck, and that'll be it, guys. Take a deep breath. The empty family room. So again, it was clearing out the old was a big thing. So you have space for something new to come in. We also have, if you're working too hard, you need to take a break. And also make sure if you're dealing with other people that you feel into it. Somebody might be wearing a mask in this situation. It could be somebody at work, right? Or someone who's making you work too hard, right? Are you allowing people to walk all over you? Or are you the person taking advantage of someone else? Or are you someone who's bringing the workplace into your home, and would you want this kind of person in your home, right? If you're not sure of who you're actually working with. The underlying energy is the message of concern, and you don't have to go into fear about any of this. It's just about being in faith and being in the moment. Don't look forward, don't look back, don't look for outcomes, don't look for stories to tell from the past. Just stay present in appreciation, gratitude of the present moment. The underlying energies are about a gift of unexpected income, a gift, and then maybe someone refusing it or walking away. They would rather start over again and address a message of concern that came up. Or maybe because they got this gift, even they don't have a lot, they have enough to go address this message of concern. Or the message of concern is coming from this person and the feminine is receiving that, okay? All right, guys, I hope that was helpful. I do need to show you the cards. All right, we have the Wounded Warrior there in the underlying energy. Recent past is the Abundance card, or Empress. The foundation here is Luna, okay? And then the central card is the Ace of Orbs, but it was reversed today. The challenge being Divine Justice, upright. The other underlying energies here. And then crowning is the King of Cups, upright. He's got his eye on you. Scrolling across there, we have the Star card here. And then the masculine sees himself as guidance, reversed. Around him is karma, reversed. The blocks he needs to clear has to do with the Seeker of Orbs or the Page of Swords. There's that bridge there. And then you see all the cards like all over the place. There's the Hierophant and the Justice card, and then the 5 and 7 of Swords. And then we ended up on the Queen of Wands, reversed. The Queen of Cups, upright, is above her, and the Lovers. And then the 7 of Wands, of Flames, upright. And then going into the 7 of Swords, reversed. And we end up on the 2 of Pentacles, doing the dance and performing. Okay? And there's a lot of pinks, and there's that orangey pink again, that magenta kind of racer red color. So a lot of sacral to root energies and compassion. So always bringing compassion into the situation. And make sure to drink your water, get your rest, and all that stuff, all that jazz. Maybe need to come up right now and rise and be loved. Bye, guys.